All right, people. Welcome to the GEEK'D OUT podcast. This is our episode, 4? This is episode 4. All right. So right now, we got our guest here. We got Leah, and then we got our friend David here. So he's our connoisseur for wrestling. Leah, she's our input for normal people. So we could take all the geek stuff out and actually have a normal opinion about stuff.
Yeah, so it's not too nerdy.
Yeah, exactly.
She brings the beauty.
Yeah. So right now we got us a little segment. Everybody already knows it. Who's invited to the cookout? That's our segment. All right. So basically, this is who's invited to the cookout, but this is gonna be comic book edition, comic book / movie. So comic book movies, yeah. Wrestling's in there. All right. So we're gonna just kind of throw out a few characters and see what everybody thinks about it.
Okay.
So first up, since our next segment that we're gonna record is actually gonna be a review of Captain America, the new movie. So the first one we'll start off with is because I didn't watch the movie, but who about what was it, Harrison Ford's character?
No.
As the Hulk? Thunderbolt Ross?
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that dude would not be invited to the cookout. Like
He had way too many mood issues. He was unstable. We don't need that energy at the cookout, period.
Oh, yeah.
He can't come.
See, I haven't seen the movie yet either, so technically.
But not even based off of that, but just as Thunderbolt Ross's character in the movie, like, he wanted to throw Captain America in prison.
No, we don't do that at the cookout.
He
No snitches allowed at the cookout.
he didn't care for War Machine once War Machine sided with the heroes. Like, I don't even think he barely liked Iron Man, and Iron Man was a fascist in the movies.
Oh yeah. What about Iron Man then? Tony Stark invited?
If it's drunk alcoholic Tony Stark, probably, because
Well, yeah, because he's bringing all the booze.
he's bringing all the booze.
Can we use, like, his house? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if we could use, like, Jarvis and stuff like that.
Well,
then
technically,
we
the
can.
cookout would be at probably Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
even if it was at his house, though, I don't think black people be able to act
straight to the
appropriately
point.
at his house. What was that
Well,
on
no,
Iron Man 3
no,
where he
no.
got drunk and then messed up the house?
Yeah.
No, that was
Yeah.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah, that
Two.
was 2.
But no, okay, so Iron Man, before he got full of himself from the MCU, was cool. Once he started getting everything too seriously and he realized there was other people more powerful than him, that's when he started set tripping with aliens and stuff. But that he was drunk, getting on the turntables, partying, destroying the house. Like, you would think that
Well, he was
grew up
lashing out in the second one.
Iron Man was actually Robert Downey Jr. when he was blackballed from Hollywood
Back
for
in the
what?
St. Elmo's Fire
What
days.
if we can mash up Tony Stark Iron Man with the guy that he plays in Tropic Thunder?
He's
We're
just
gonna
a
mash
dude
them
playing a
up.
dude at a cookout.
Yep.
As another dude.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What about, all right, so I had a few people who I say aren't invited to the cookout but are black. And so Lex Luthor, black version, he's not invited to the cookout.
I don't think any version of Lex Luthor should be invited to the cookout. I don't care if he's black, white, Hispanic.
No.
He could be a French bulldog. You want to be
Yeah, no.
Wait,
Lex
is that
Luthor-
the Batman guy?
No.
No, Superman. Hey, Superman.
Superman.
The bald head Superman dude.
Oh,
Villain.
that guy. Yeah,
He's the one that always figures out that Superman is weak to kryptonite
Yeah.
for some reason.
No,
He's
I
like
don't
the only
his
one that
energy.
ever figures it
Yeah,
out.
he definitely doesn't have that in him.
No.
Yeah, and then another one was Amanda Waller.
Oh.
You watched
she's
Saw
like the
Suicide Squad.
So you know
The black lady that's in charge.
She's like the Karen
Yeah.
of the MCU.
Oh, no.
Well,
sorry,
of the
DCU.
yeah.
Yeah,
no.
sorry.
Yeah, no.
No.
She's
She played by Viola Davis.
yeah,
I know.
Viola
Yeah.
Davis. Yeah,
Annalise Keating.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
no. She's the one that probably talked too much.
Wasn't she also Biggie's mom in the Notorious movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, she's been in a ton of stuff.
Oh
She's
yeah.
a good actress. The actress would be invited to the cookout,
yeah,
but
for
not
sure.
Amanda Waller.
Anytime somebody like stomps off, I'm like, look at them walking like Annalise Keating
Yep.
from the
How to Get Away with Murder?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
So what about? Can I throw someone out? What
Yeah.
about Doctor Strange?
After the incident, so like Doctor Strange when he was just a surgeon.
Yeah, he was too full of himself.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, he's cool, but he's still the nerdy dude.
Yeah.
The guy that's definitely invited to the cookout for me would be Wong.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, Doctor
but...
Strange would show up and just say, "Well, guys already invited me to the cookout."
Right? He already knew.
Yep.
Wong would make it interesting.
But I don't know though. Doctor Strange looked like a dude that would be invited because he was dating one of the black girls that was there.
I'm just saying, and he's entertainment. You know what I mean?
What was the girl's name in the show when she hung out with Wong the whole time?
Oh,
and
the
she
girl
was-
from Thor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But they gave her
No,
like
no,
a...
no.
No.
That wasn't her. It was the girl that was, I think she was like just some kind of like hoochie type of girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's invited to the cookout because she would be a trip.
Yeah.
She was also cute.
Yeah.
But she has to talk that way in everything like she did in the show.
Because she'd probably be here talking with
What
us,
was that?
drinking
Was
this
that
Jack and
in
Coke.
She-Hulk? She was in She-Hulk, right?
Oh, it was. She was in She-Hulk.
Which
Because
one
she
was
hung
she
out
in
with like
She-Hulk?
Wong the whole time.
Oh,
You were
I remember. Yes,
Yeah, because she spent the whole
remember
day
her.
with them in
Yes.
Kashmatar, whatever
And then
that
they,
place
like,
was.
bonded
She's
or
like,
whatever.
oh my
Yes.
god, you
Yeah.
took me to like Kashmatar. Like,
Yeah.
She'd
That's
have to do like...
hilarious. I forgot all
forgot
about
about
her.
But not all of those MCU shows were great, but there's some little hidden gems in
That
some-
was good.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I like She-Hulk. Because every week you got
You
to
just
see
wanted
her.
to see Cardi B.
It was
Hey,
Meg the
no.
Stallion.
Yeah,
Oh, Meg the Stallion. That's
Megan
what
Thee
it was.
Stallion.
Meg the
Not
Stallion.
him confusing black women.
Yep. There you go.
Oop.
Oh.
Santana's gonna be uninvited to the cookout. You think they all look alike?
No. That's you.
Wait, I had another good one. What about Scarlet Witch? Because I love Scarlet Witch. She's like my favorite.
Before she
but-
wigged out and tried to
Pre-witch?
steal, before she wigged out and tried to steal her children from the alternate version of herself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I was
don't know,
like,
though.
pre-witch or...
It's not like she wasn't warranted though. Like anything she does, you might think she was a crazy for it, but she did what any rational person would have done.
No rational person would have gone to another dimension to steal their children
Oh yes,
from that.
so you saying you wouldn't do that for your kids?
I would.
You know you would.
I'd
I
be
would.
crazy.
If they were mine and they ended up in the alternate dimension, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't gonna go get Bebe's kids.
Yeah.
No, but those were the other Scarlet Witch's kids that she was trying to take to hers. Her dimension, she wasn't supposed to
But
have
she
those
was
kids.
doing like multiples, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was like controlling the whole thing, and then she brought.
She was trying to
what's his
traffic her own children to herself.
Yeah.
name? I don't
was
know.
crazy.
I don't know if she could be invited to her because I think she's a little too unhinged. I feel like
From
if
jump,
there's
she's a
black
little
girls,
too...
if you got black aunties at the cookout, they will annihilate her.
Oh yeah.
So
I think she would
I
just be talking about Vision the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, we hate those girls. Yeah, we don't need that.
But Vision be invited to the cookout though.
Yes.
She already
Hands
thinks
down.
Paul Bettany's black.
Vision gives me like black dude energy. For whatever reason, I see him and I think like black dude.
Yeah.
So I feel
But
like
when
he's
he's
invited.
Vision.
Yeah, when he's Vision.
Not the White Vision, though. The White Vision had like no emotion in that
Yeah.
episode.
Robot.
I think he was just pure robot at that point.
The thing that, like getting off topic a little bit, like the MCU always does, is like they try to hit every single little thing in the comic.
And it's hard
Yeah.
when you
And
have
it's
that
like-
much history.
Yep.
Expound on what you already have, like with the story. Don't keep adding in those little fanboy elements in there,
Right.
because then it makes no sense all of a sudden. You're like,
Yeah.
why all of a sudden he's like White Vision? Like,
Yeah.
I know it's from
No,
the
I
comic
totally
books,
get
but he had no more personality.
yeah.
He was just
But
a
you had
robot.
to do, it's like a deep cut in the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they do that with like every one of their little shows. It's like a deep cut.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, that was a cool little Easter egg, but then the regular viewer is like,
Yeah.
like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
You know what? For the MCU, Deadpool.
Oh, of course.
Deadpool's always
Deadpool.
invited
Yeah.
to the cookout.
And what's
Come
his
on.
name? Dopinder?
I
Oh,
They
like
have
yeah.
to
Dopinder.
have Dopinder.
Yes,
Yeah.
Dopinder is very invited to the
When he
cookout.
had that dude in his trunk driving around.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't, we don't need Deadpool's girlfriend. I know that might be an unpopular opinion. I don't know if we need
No,
her.
I didn't really like her.
I don't know, man.
really like
I think I like her as much as I like Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
Oh, you talking about for looks?
Oh,
Yeah.
listen.
She was cool,
Dude,
though.
Gina Carano was in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh, what about Blind Al?
Blind
Oh,
Al.
my
of
God, we
course.
have
What?
to have Blind
Blind
Al.
Al be bringing the drugs and everything.
Yeah,
but,
oh,
And
know.
she's into Gats.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about Blind Al. She had to be. She'd be one of the aunties playing dominoes and stuff. Spades.
She's just got all an apartment complex full of illicit drugs and guns.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for them to make a spin-off movie with
Yeah.
Big Al.
That would be. They should do like the sidekick, so it should be like Blind Al, Dopinder, and what's his face?
The bartender
guy. I always forget his name.
Oh yeah.
He's from Colorado.
He's been having issues though with that whole.
True that.
What was it?
He's not friends with
Ryan
Reynolds.
Yeah.
So something happened on the
But
set
I
of the
think he
second
might have
movie.
made up or something weird because he was talking about.
He's a great
future
character in
stuff.
the movies.
Yeah,
He's from Colorado.
Is he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I think he was at Looney's a few times.
Yeah. Because I saw one of his stand-ups and he was talking about how he was from Colorado.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
All right, so that was a good segment for anybody who's watching. For if you go into the comment section, I want y'all to like kind of throw out some more characters y'all think is or isn't invited to the cookout. So next on our segment, we actually have Santana and his lady here. They both seen the movie Captain America: Brave New World, and we're gonna get their perspective on it. So, all right, Santana, what do y'all guys think of it?
That movie was extremely anti-American. No, it wasn't. It was actually really good. Like Ed said before, it was a little slow moving, but it did pick up after a while. There's just a lot of there's a lot to the movie, different aspects, because you have Harrison Ford's character portraying Thunderbolt Ross and his issues that you've seen in the various other movies where he was overseeing the Avengers but had the falling out because he didn't like Captain America, thought he was a criminal. Same thing with like Falcon and some of the other characters. You have Sam Wilson fully submerging himself into the Captain America role, and they bring out the first super soldier, which was seen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that's a whole nother subplot, and then you have the leader.
Yeah.
So,
and see, Leah's here with her perspective of it without all the comic book junk on behind it. An actual normal person who watched the movie.
She's a movie nerd. She likes the movies, and she's a nerd in those aspects.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
she doesn't collect all of this in her words, crap that grown men shouldn't be collecting.
Hey.
Anywho's, so first of all, I'm a huge Anthony Mackie fan. That's the first thing. The second thing is, I do not like movies that push any agenda, whether it's the black agenda, female agenda. I don't like it, and so I'm glad. I feel like this movie was such a good balance, and it has such a strong characters that were minorities without pushing an agenda.
Right. Exactly.
So I was like very impressed with that, and I was very happy because I was kind of concerned. I was like, oh, here we go. But yeah, that's one of my reasons I don't really like Captain Marvel, because it pushes an agenda, and I don't like that.
Because the whole thing when it comes to pushing agenda is it feels it's not authentic.
Yes.
Whenever they do that, so you don't actually relate to it whenever they are trying to push it like that.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that balance of like, oh yeah, it's a black superhero.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about that whole outer political junk that they like to put in there.
Exactly. And I feel like even when they were like, you're not, what's his name? What's Captain America's name?
Sam Wilson?
Yeah. No, not Sam Wilson, the other one.
Oh.
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans is...
What's the original one?
Steve Rogers.
Thank you. Okay. When they would tell him, like, you're not Steve or whatever, even when they said that, it didn't feel like it was like a racial thing.
Right.
You know, so I was like, that's so cool. I liked that. There was a lot of symbolism with the cherry blossoms. I know that there are cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C., but I looked them up, and they mean opposite. So they mean like beautiful and evil at the same time. Yep. So I thought that was really symbolic of kind of like the Hulk situation. Yeah. So I thought that was cool. I'm into the symbolism of things.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. I could have used more Red Hulk in the movie. It was movie, Red Hulk. Red Hulk for a little bit longer than the movie.
Yeah.
They're probably pushing for something more out of it, hopefully.
Yeah. Because I felt like, based on the previews, I thought there was going to be at least 2 big fights with this guy. Like, we were going to find out about him mid-movie. There's going to be a battle, and then there's going to be another one.
Right.
So I just feel like they didn't do a lot. I mean, there was fighting, but it was kind of different. Yeah.
Oh, I know one thing that she liked, too, because he's one of my favorite actors, but Giancarlo Esposito portrayed one of the Serpent Society characters, which I kind of felt like Serpent Society as a whole, as a comic book nerd, it should have been deeper in there. Yeah. Because there's only one representative from Serpent Society, but it's a whole roster of snake-themed villains, and they only had the one. But I mean, Giancarlo Esposito did not disappoint. I like him as
I
what
love him.
who is he in Star Wars? Grand Moff Gideon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he always plays a very intelligent villain.
Even in Empire.
Yep.
See, and I haven't watched Empire, but I liked him as the mirror on Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, he's always one of my favorites, and I did like the little security chick.
I'll spoil the thing out.
Yeah.
But that's yeah. And
Hey, they've already had almost 3 weeks to watch the movie.
Yeah.
Without spoiling it.
Without spoiling it, does this movie have some kind of link between now and the Thunderbolts movie?
At the end credits scene, no.
I'm sure it's gonna segue into that because there was a quick cameo appearance by Bucky Barnes. So I'm sure it's gonna segue into it, especially with the way the movie ends with Ross as the president and the Red Hulk emerging. Obviously, you can't have a Hulk as president, not a chaotic Hulk.
Really?
Maybe Mark Ruffalo's. Hey, who's making it political now?
Oh, sorry.
But the only way that you can actually have a Hulk as president is Mark Ruffalo's scientific Bruce Banner Hulk that's calm and
that or She-Hulk. No.
Yeah, I don't know. She-Hulk was. I like She-Hulk. She-Hulk was great for everybody that wants comic book accurate type of stuff. Sam Wilson. Captain America Brave New World is not highly comic book accurate because there's too much history to cram into that. But She-Hulk was comic book accurate.
Yeah.
And I love Bucky. We forgot about that cameo. I love Bucky. Yeah. So I was happy to see him. Yeah. And his cameo was very meaningful. So the cameo he had was very, very meaningful. Yeah, which I like.
Yeah, and that makes sense with that link between him and Steve, and then his opinion of Sam being Captain America. So that whole link is actually important being that movie.
Well, one of the subplots of the movie too is it's an internal deal with Sam as Captain America because he doubts himself the entire movie that he's not Captain America, he's not Steve, that he's never going to live up to it. So he's already battling his own internal struggle in the movie. So that's a whole nother theme of the movie. So pay attention to the movie and you just kind of see he's constantly doubting himself as Captain America. He doesn't ever doubt himself as a person because he's just one of them dudes that's like Captain America that's going to do what's right no matter what people think. And you see it in the movie. And he starts to realize he is like Steve. And that's why Steve picked him to take up the mantle of Captain America. So there's that subplot. The one thing that I had mentioned before too was I like that there was a Hispanic character that's in training to become the next Falcon. Right. So, like I said, representation means a lot. I know some people are like, oh, we don't need all of this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, he's a new character taking on the mantle. And at the end of the day, these are just superheroes they're aging in the movies and they're being replaced. So, Captain America doesn't always have to be a white dude. Captain America can be anybody. Yeah. Could be a woman. It's been a woman before in the past. There have been black Captain Americas, female Captain Americas, a British Captain America.
Yeah. But we all did appreciate America's ass. Chris Evans.
Maybe you did. Might sound a little zesty from like, yes, that is.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, that's the good part about representation. It kind of brings back what Leah was talking about with how there has to be a balance of representation versus just being pandering, you know?
Yeah, because the bulk of the superheroes are white. Yeah. Then a smaller minority is black. And then there's almost non-existent in most of the universe with Asian, Hispanic, or like Pacific Islanders, or even females are. I think the female characters are actually more well balanced out as far as ethnic backgrounds go than the male one.
Echo is
a Native American.
Yeah, I loved Echo.
And she represents Americans with disabilities too.
Oh, she does.
And that was a David Mack co-creation too. That was been a very popular character.
Oh yeah. But then they have Luna Snow. And I think that was talking about
Luna Snow?
So she is a comic book character that they just recently, was it like maybe 3 years ago they introduced her, but as an Asian superhero. Oh. She's been getting a lot of a lot of attention because they put her in the new Marvel's was it Marvel Rivals video game?
The game that I still can't play because I can't download it because
so they
it's
put
not
her in there,
compatible with my
and they're
Xbox.
talking about maybe putting her in either a TV show or a movie now. So that's gonna be something new that's gonna pop up. That's gonna be more of a representation for at least the Asian community.
So one of the good things is, like I said before, I learned to just let go of the comic book knowledge and go in there to watch the movie for what it is.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have that issue. So she's enjoyed almost all of the movies we've watched.
Except Iron Man 3.
Yeah. I hated Iron Man.
Yeah,
I don't
was
think
terrible.
how are you going to have an Iron Man movie without Iron
And
Man?
I
in
was
there?
an Iron Man fan. He was my guy, but I've replaced Iron Man with, guess who? Doctor Strange.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
love Doctor
She's
Strange.
a Cumberbatch fan.
Oh yeah.
Am I though? I'm a Doctor Strange fan.
Hey, he's good.
Yeah.
I
All the
mean,
way
I
from
think he was
Doctor Who
perfect
to-
for it.
Yeah,
Him and the guy, the guy.
Wong?
What's his name?
Oh,
Yes,
Wong.
Wong. I love Wong. I like the guy.
I've seen him a few
But
times at cons. Too.
They've been
Really?
I think
Yeah.
they've been doing a good they've been doing a good job as far as is getting a wider variety of characters in there from more unknown backgrounds, because
Oh yeah.
who would have thought that Guardians of the Galaxy would have been the hit it was? Because I remember when they
Mhm.
first announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, oh, is this going to be any good? Because
Oh yeah.
nobody was checking for Guardians of the Galaxy
No.
when that came out. I know a lot of people didn't really care for Shang-Chi, but I
Oh,
love
that was
Shang-Chi.
good.
I
That
like
movie
that.
was
That
good. I
was
forgot all
absolutely
about that
good.
one. That one's really
But we're
good.
also a little bit different. You and I, we like anime, manga type stuff. So I love martial arts.
I like
type
the
of
big
stuff.
lions. I want one of those. The pets in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, talking about the big. Yeah, they're so cute. I love that movie.
But I kind of feel like Captain America: Brave New World has a little bit of something for every fan. If you're a Captain America fan and you like Sam Wilson as Captain America and you follow the comic books, because that is one of the more recent storylines. So the Captain America: Brave New World has adapted a more recent storyline as opposed to an older
Right.
storyline as far as Cap transitioning over to Sam Wilson. So if you like that storyline, you'll probably like the movie. You're a fan of Hulk, you got the Red Hulk. If you're a Harrison Ford fan because you watched all of his other movies, you got Harrison Ford. Like, there's a lot of different aspects to the thing. If you like the TV series that's incorporated with Isaiah in there.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't impressed with Red Hulk. I wasn't. It was just so, I don't know, anticlimactic. Maybe I
can
just
see it. I can see it being way overhyped
Yeah.
and then just not performing the way it should.
exactly because it's like, oh my gosh, wait, there's a Red Hulk, and it was just so anticlimactic. For
it was
me.
too brief.
I
It
feel
was too
like that
brief.
story they were really like, it's almost like they rushed that
Yeah.
part of it, like they didn't really build it, and
Yeah.
so that
I
that
can,
part sucks.
You probably can tell that it was a last minute decision to put something in there like that
Yeah.
because they've been announcing this movie for a long time. They never mentioned Red Hulk. Well, all of a sudden they like, oh yeah, and this preview stuff, then we're gonna throw him in there. So they could have easily was like, oh, we're not getting enough attraction from just Sam Wilson. Let's throw something else in there to kind of catch comic book people. So they probably just threw him in there just to throw it in there.
Well-
And I'm not trying to body shame anybody because all bodies are beautiful, but there was a shot at the end where we seen Harrison Ford with no shirt on, and I'm just saying he's like 25 years
You know,
past that.
you know
Oh,
the
yeah.
man's like in his 70s
Yes,
now.
I was
so,
like, why'd
I
they
mean,
do that?
Oh, yeah.
Why did they do that?
There's a few times I've seen they do stuff like
You
that.
know, but to be honest though, Harrison Ford has never been one of those ripped Hollywood actors
no.
because
No,
even when they show him shirtless as Indiana Jones, he just has he's not overweight, doesn't have flabby skin or anything like that. He just has a normal, solid, non-athletic body.
Yeah.
He's not fat in the movie, but I mean, it's Harrison Ford. How many women now probably still have a crush on Harrison Ford? Like, women probably went to go see Star Wars back in the 70s because it's like, oh, that guy's cute. Let's go watch that movie with that guy, Harrison Ford, in it. But I mean, it's a 70-year-old man.
So, like I said, they didn't need to do him like that. I kind of felt bad. I was like, they didn't need to do him like that. Like, they couldn't just...
Could have CGI'd it.
Well, me at
Right.
45, if I had been in the movie without a shirt on, I would have went to the Marvel execs. I'm like, why'd you guys have to do me like that? Nobody wants to see the dad bod. I'm surprised Harrison Ford's even still doing movies at his age.
I was thinking that, like, I hope they don't plan to do, like, a series for 20 years with him.
action
because-
movies anyway. Well, you know the actor that played
Harrison Ford's character.
Yeah, he passed away, so that's why they didn't use him.
I was confused. Okay, see, I was gonna ask because sometimes you'd be laughing at me, and I was like, I swear Harrison Ford has never been in these movies before, but I thought that role wasn't new,
I mean,
so I was confused a little bit.
The original actor's been doing, portraying the character of Thunderbolt Ross since what, like, for like the last 12, 13 years before he passed away. It was the first Hulk movie.
Yeah, the first Hulk. I mean,
or second. It was the Edward Norton one, right?
The Edward Norton movie is when you first see him at that end credit, and then he pops up again at the Iron Man one.
Yeah, and then in the Infinity War movie crossovers when he's on the camera, like he's Captain America: Civil War, War. So he had all those cameo appearances and random appearances in the movies as Thunderbolt Ross, but he passed away. So I was like, they should have pushed the Red Hulk sooner.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why I said that's how you can kind of tell that it was like let's throw this in here to try to make something out of it.
It's cause Captain America was black.
Yep.
They had to push it. They needed something else.
Yep. So if you want to go see the movie, at least you got two opinions here. It was a good movie, so go ahead and go see it.
And at least one of our opinions is valid.
There you
go. Okay.
Just kidding.
All right, now this been what y'all been waiting for, the Pokemon giveaway. So right on YouTube, we posted a giveaway video, and all you had to do was comment your favorite Pokemon in the comment section. So that was it. That's all you needed to do.
We had a whopping 15 entries, so the odds are really good of getting all of this stuff.
Right.
So
when we do these giveaways, make sure y'all get into that because higher chances.
2 sealed tins from Scarlet and Violet, so there's 4 packs right there already. We just picked up the Surging Sparks pack, so you're going to get another one. So that's 5 packs. Then this Prismatic Evolutions poster set, so there's 3 more booster packs in here and 3 foil cards.
Yep.
So that's 8 packs now.
Yep.
And then the deck box with Snorlax on it.
Yep.
And we're going to throw in a couple of more random foils, and I'm going to hand draw at least 1 card to give away in the set. So you'll get a hand-drawn card. So whoever we pick, they have their favorite Pokemon. I'll just draw that on on an art card for you guys. So
cool.
Whenever
and I know
ready, bro.
Those prismatic boosters by themselves are like $15 each or something.
I have no idea. I just know that they're not cheap anymore because you picked up that booster box at the Iron Lion.
And that was Surging Sparks. That wasn't even Prismatic Evolution.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was Surging
Sparks. Is
on the wheel, Wheel of Fate. The Wheel of Fate.
All right. So here's all the people who actually entered in, and let's see who ends up getting it. Let's go. And the winner is...
That wheel took forever.
Dark Ether?
Dark Ether with
Dark
Gengar.
Ether 115.
Dark Ether with Gengar.
Yeah. Nice. So Dark Ether, we're going to get a hold to you. This whole Pokemon set is yours.
Gengar's an easy draw. I can draw that one real quick.
Hey, that's no problem at all then.
Yep.
So that was for that giveaway. We're going to have more giveaways in the future. Our next giveaway is actually going to be for 2 movie tickets. Since the Star Wars 20th anniversary is coming out in April. So we're going to throw in 2 tickets to that or a movie of your choice. Just in case there's somebody who won that didn't like Star Wars. But 2 movie tickets regardless. So that's going to be our next one. So y'all guys keep following us. Keep looking at our content. And we'll see y'all guys in the future.
Yep.